Hello and welcome everybody once again to this HeflaTV presentation of the Dota League season number 3. It's going to be Titan versus Immunity in a 2-game series. As once again we were delayed a little bit at the start, but hopefully no more will come. But we're in the draft already. I'm Coucher and once again I'm joined by Blackadder. And yeah, unmuting Skype would be nice as well. Blackadder, how you doing?
Not too bad at all, man. It seems you're the one with the curse of Skype this time around. But I think we're in for a decent game. I mean, we've been casting a lot of Titan lately, and, well, Immunity Dota are by no means unknown. They have some very solid players on that lineup. And I think we're in for a good game, now that we have Skype working.
Yeah, we should at least. And actually looking at Immunity's lineup, they are running with 3 stand-ins at this point in time. Death, I do believe, is from Asail otherwise. A Singaporean team, I think. So they're mixing it up a little bit. A little bit unfortunate, of course, but man, Titan, they're here with pretty much full force. Mushi, he is running under the stand-in tag, but he's been playing with Titan for quite some time now.
And more importantly, we have Net back. We've not got, I believe we have had WTF lately, and honestly, I've been looking forward to seeing what Net can do.
Oh yeah, you and me both, but in the draft now, looking at the bans, Death Prophet and Doom taken up by Immunity, Lycan and Brewmaster by Titan. Actually, Titan going for that Skywrath Mage first pick. Yes, it's an extremely strong hero, but most teams don't value that hero as highly.
No, and you've got to considering they've picked up the Skywrath, this leaves Brewmaster and Faceless Void for Immunity should they want it.
Oh man, well, Faceless Void definitely is a pretty damn strong hero to probably not pass up on, but Razor, Viper, also possibility Shadow Shaman. But Nature's Prophet? Plus, what are they gonna go for now? Is it gonna be Shadow Shaman just to strengthen the push, or casual Nature's Prophet?
I have a gut feeling that it's going to be a Shadow Shaman or a Razor, but if Immunity pass on the Void here, you've just given Titan Skywrath Mage, Faceless Void. Do I really need to say anything more than that?
I don't think so, at least for most people who have seen Dota in the past couple of months. You've seen that combination as well. It's just a combo that happens so often. It's drafted almost every single time when given the opportunity, but Faceless Void actually is a hero that is losing his popularity just a little bit. But maybe it's just because I've been casting Southeast Asian Dota that much. I mean, in Europe, whenever I see a couple of games, it's still pretty prominent up there. But Immunity, they are taking the time, and Razor is the pick for them. And when you're running even a kind of semi-pushing lineup, it's always nice to actually have a hero that usually goes for mech anyway.
Well, he'll be a natural mech carrier and he'll bring push to the table, but he needs some time to come online. And there's your Faceless Void, so no surprises coming out of Titan. And we have another Razor Void game.
Surprise, surprise, who would have guessed? But to be honest, Faceless Void does struggle a little bit up against Razor, I guess, in a sense. Static Link, Eye of the Storm can still damage through the Chronosphere as well. But just the pure burst potential of Chronosphere into Mystic Flare, getting that 100% damage output of the Mystic Flare, it's so hard to deal with. I mean, you can't really preemptively BKB either, since usually it's just gonna get chronoed out of nowhere.
Well, the Chrono coming out of nowhere, they need the right positioning for that. Being able to jump out of the tree line, sure, that could be an amazing setup and turnaround, but it's a question of, will they be able to hit those Chronos, or will Immunity's push just be too big in terms of momentum, and will they just take them head on?
Yeah, it's really depending on what Immunity is going to go for next Titan. Banning out the Shadow Shaman, so they don't want to deal with those Mass Serpent wards. I mean, usually it's like unit-based pushing is a lot easier to deal with, just get some AoE, and you'll be fine, but Mass Serpent wards, you actually have to get up close to destroy them. So Immunity themselves now, actually this draft, I have to say, is a lot slower than I'm used to recently, but a Pugna ban, so is there a Tinker incoming?
With the Pugna ban, quite possibly a Tinker, but that would give you a very greedy potential for a lineup, depending on how you run the Skywrath. I'm expecting to support Skywrath, sure, but Faceless Void and Tinker in its own is very greedy. And then we could be looking for another core, maybe the Brewmaster. No, he was actually banned out the first 2. We could be looking at Clockwork, sorry, or maybe even something along the lines of... what could we see? There's the Rubik ban. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing something a little more aggressive in terms of stuns this time. The Alchemist, again, would make sense, for Immunity at least. But for Titan, they need something that can really shut down these heroes, maybe with a silence. Storm Spirit could be a good mid-core here.
Man, I would love to see some Storm Spirit. It feels like it's been a really long time, to be honest, at the moment. But Immunity, if they themselves don't go for a Tinker now, they're rather risking it giving to Titan. I mean, Faceless Void plus Tinker is pretty damn devastating to go up against. Also, Tinker's Master Machine is pretty damn good in stopping Nature's Prophet from ratting. But Ember Spirit is the ban instead.
Well, that's going to be a support Wraith King most likely for Immunity, and I got to say I do like this potential draft from Immunity, is even though it has that Nature's Prophet. And apologies if my voice has gone a little bit out. I woke up not long ago. But as it stands going into Titan's next pick, they could use something that can do some mana warfare as well, and they'll pick up the Venomancer. I should have seen that one coming. That'll most likely be in the hands of Ohio, I would expect. And the one thing here, considering the Wraith King is now present, he has a big problem in terms of if his mana pool is dealt with, it's going to be very hard for him to do anything. So an EMP build Invoker wouldn't go amiss, and they do have KYXY who does play a phenomenal Invoker.
Yeah, it would be actually pretty damn good, the Invoker there, and the Venomancer, it's decent enough for counter pushing with the Plague Wards, and of course just kiting around the Wraith King. If it's a core one, I'm kind of expecting it to be a support, to be honest, but we will see how Immunity like to run this. I mean, we can't even expect Immunity to play as they've usually played, since, I mean, 3 stand-ins, it has to change out the playstyle quite a lot.
You would think so, yes, but it depends on how well these guys know each other. I should think they've played together a fair amount over the course of years, but 3 stand-ins will generally change the style of draft a little bit, maybe to one more suitable for the stand-ins, but the question I have to ask is, are the stand-ins going to be that much of a problem? I mean, I don't know these guys that well. They could have played a lot together in the past. They could know Titan reasonably well. Hell, in the words of Dendy, a good Dota player can play anything.
Well, that is true enough. I mean, a good player should be able to play anything, so we'll see. I mean, I think some of those stand-ins haven't really played up against tier 1 teams all that much, but maybe it won't affect them at all. Maybe they've screamed up against each other, just not in official matches. I can't really say anything about that, but the Enchantress pick comes out from Immunity, so they really want to go aggressive. Just strengthen their early push a little bit as well with those creeps Enchantress can dominate. So, early aggression to come, that's always nice to see. And Titan, how will they react now with their draft?
Well, when they see an Enchantress and a Wraith King, that's going to be a very powerful potential roaming combo, assuming it is, of course, a support Wraith King and the Enchantress. So that's most likely going to be an aggressive dual jungle in the enemy's jungle. I'm thinking they're going to need something that can dislodge that. You need something that can brawl early to force them out of the jungle should that route come about. And they've got the Venomancer. He is most likely going to be a core in this one in the off lane, so he's not going to be able to do much. They've got the Faceless Void potentially in the safe lane with the Skywrath Mage. They need maybe a ganking-oriented mid, maybe not the Invoker just because of this issue. If they go for the Invoker, he wants to sit in that lane and farm for a fair amount, but I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a fighting-style support pickup here. Well, there's a Windrunner. That's a fighting-style mid-hero that can rotate and gank, assuming it's played in the mid lane, of course. And we're looking for a support of some description that can work with the Skywrath Mage and kill things. VS would work, Witch Doctor would work, something with a good stun.
Yeah, if they go for such heroes now at the moment, it's actually going to leave them rather squishy on all fronts. I mean, Faceless Void, he has the potential to backtrack, of course, but it's not like his health pool is all that big. I'm really expecting somebody who can actually take the punishment and soak up some damage in the front lines for them. I guess Titan, they have ran the Bristleback quite a lot recently. Just have like Venomancer, Skywrath supports, Wind Ranger mid lane, Faceless Voids farming safe, and Bristle off lane.
A Bristle off lane could work, yeah, I will grant you that. But it comes into the question is that a little bit too greedy? I mean, Bristle wants to get a few items, so does the Razor and the Nature's Prophet. However, the negative armor it does provide, yes, is very nice, I will grant you that. But it's the choice of, do you go for the Bristleback or the potential for an off-lane Alchemist?
Well, actually, Alchemist wouldn't be all that bad. I
Because he adds another stun to the pool.
Probably the more maybe solid or stable option. Because Alchemist, I mean, stun is always nice to have, especially now that the Puck actually comes out as well. And, well, Skywrath Mage, Ancient Seal is nice up against Puck, I guess, in a sense, but other than that, they don't have too much lockdown unless they really rely on the Chrono. So I actually really like this puck pickup, just getting even more aggressive with immunity. And is this the making of an aggressive tri-lane now? Razor, Wraith King plus Enchantress?
Yes, I think it might be, and that'll be a mid puck and then the safe lane Prophet. So I think aggressive tri lane is the order of business here, but it's not one that I expected. I mean, we were both looking for something that could tank up, something that could bring negative armor, as well as be able to throw maybe a stun around or a slow. It's an interesting draft out of immunity, and I honestly like it a lot. Anytime I see a Wraith King as well as a Enchantress and a puck, I generally will enjoy the draft because it signifies aggressive style of play. I mean, Wraith King can get in the enemy's face. You've got a puck, one of the best silencers around. It really does add up.
Yeah, and I'm just waiting for Titan to pick up the 5th now, just so we could possibly have an idea how they're gonna lane this. Although with the heroes that they have, they're extremely flexible. I mean, really any of their heroes could go into the mid lane, for example. Even the Faceless Void if they really wanted to, and an anti-mage pick as the last one. Well, that's a hero we haven't seen for ages. Mana burn, nice against Wraith King, of course. If Puck runs out of mana, there's a potential for a huge mana void, but is this way too greedy for them?
Well, the anti-mage certainly is, of all things, greedy. It's now an off-lane void anti-mage safe lane, I'm expecting, but I'm unsure. I was looking for some kind of mana warfare to deal with the Wraith King and the Enchantress, but anti-mage does fit the bill. I mean, you consider very high mana burn per right click. He'll get a decent attack speed. We're looking for an early Manta, which will let him get in and completely destroy one hero's mana pool and turn them into a walking bomb with Mana Void. It's a nice pick, but who do they go on? I mean, Enchantress doesn't have the biggest mana pool, nor does Wraith King. Razor's got, again, a small mana pool. Prophet has a reasonably high mana pool, but I'm expecting him to go for some ability to escape in this one. And then there's Puck. Sure, Puck has a nice mana pool that you can blow up with the Mana Void, but my point here is the Puck is one of the most escapable heroes in this entire game.
Well, it's going to be hard for Titan to manage to lock down immunity and just try to grab the kills that way. And I guess immunity, they should have a reasonable amount to possibly lock down Mushio. Not the most, just Waning Rift as well as the Rayfire Blast, but within those two disables, might have enough. And since Mushi picks up the anti-mage, can it actually be a mid lane anti-mage? I mean, if it should be up against the Razor, he can always blink out of the static link if need be. And up against the Puck, I mean, anti-mage he shouldn't do all that bad if he just went or did go for the Stout Shield early.
Going for the South Shield early, I have a feeling, yeah, that's probably the right choice, considering Mushi's going to be eating a lot of harassment on that anti-mage, and anti-mage has one of the lower health pools in the game. We're looking for a very early poor man's shield. I should expect the poor man's shield to be up within the first 2 minutes. He's going to need it. Just look at the potential for harassment coming out of immunity.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to see some crazy-ass lanes coming out from Titan at the moment. And KYX actually started with boots, now has 2 tango shared to him, so actually looks like Mushi is going to be on the safe lane instead, up against the Nature's Prophet, with just Venomancer mid lane and an aggressive tri-lane with Faceless Void. But I guess we have to introduce the lineups as well to you guys. So for immunity, on the dire side, Shatan will be playing on the Razor, leaving Godot on the Enchantress with Death on the Brave King. Mid lane taken up by K Fini on the Puck, and Chains will be the last one on the Nature's Prophet.
And on that flip side of the coin, over for Titan, we've got Mushi handling the anti-mage. On the Windrunner, we've got Extinct, we've got Net on the Skywrath Mage, and he's back after quite an absence. He's had a stand-in in place of him for quite a while, and it's good to see him back on the team. Over on the Faceless Void in the offlane, we've got Ohio, the offlane specialist, and in the mid lane, we have KYXY on the Venomancer.
Yeah, and actually Venomancer, I mean, he is usually quite a huge lane bully, so how well do you think the Puck will actually be able to stand up against Venomancer?
The Puck should be able to stand up against the Venomancer quite easily. I mean, first blood happens elsewhere, for example. And they will manage to bring down Chains in their offlane. That's the strength of the Windrunner as well as the Skywrath Mage, I guess. But not what I expected to see such an early first blood with that lane. I mean, you would think it's a very defensive lane. I mean, it's a Nature's Prophet, for Christ's sake. He shouldn't be coming forward that far. But back in that mid lane, it's going to be a very even style, I think, when it comes down to it. Sure, Venomancer's not got the best base health, but he can at least trade harassment with those mass serpent, well, with the serpent wards, as well as just the ability to trade blows with the poison attack.
I mean, poison attack is always going to be nice, but mid lane, KYXY might be in some trouble. Extinct is hanging around. Actually, breaks the smoke as well on KYXY. He makes the smart decision here, running the right direction and having boots early on. He will escape it.
Well, it's going to be a case of looking for early rotations and aggression, but I'm wondering honestly how much of that we're going to see this game. I mean, you do have one hell of a roaming combo between Net and the Windrunner, Skywrath Mage Windrunner. It can bring you a good amount, and we're going to see some stacks coming out of Extinct. That's going to be stacked up for the Anti-Mage as soon as he has his Battle Fury. But on the flip side of the coin, you consider the support combination for immunity, Enchantress and Wraith King. I don't know about you, but that is such a powerful combo, and I suppose we're at that point in the game where we have to place our bets.
Well, I'm gonna say immunity just because their lineup is so damn aggressive, or at least in theory should be. Although, just them giving you the first blood and chains, he's actually still only level 1, and he went for teleportation first, so can't even do some 3-end shenanigans. So, this offlane is hurting so damn bad.
The offlane is going to be hurting. But my question is, what else are we going to be seeing other than the offlane suffering in this one? I mean, you got to consider the offlane is going to be rough for both of these teams. I mean, the Nature's Prophet's going to get very little. I'm honestly surprised Ohio is being able to be that aggressive. I mean, it's incredibly surprising that he's managing to walk up and literally harass like this. Where's the Enchantress to rotate in and kill him? It's a void, for Christ's sake. He's only got Time Leap. And with an Enchantress as well as a stun on a Wraith King, you can catch him.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird Faceless Void is getting as much as he is. I mean, he's sitting on 10 last hits. Even when he would be up against, or solo up against Razor, he should have the upper hand, I think. I mean, Razor that is. But Faceless Void, he's been doing a pretty nice job so far, and at least Nature's Prophet, he's got himself into the trees, so soaking up some nice XP, but Anti-Mage, free farm.
The Anti-Mage free farm is going to be a big problem, but I wouldn't be surprised if Net and Mushi realize, yeah, we're losing some experience, and they're certainly fishing for it. They actually potentially find Chains here. I think they know he's there, and they're going to tunnel through. Yep, they find him. Do they have the Suns? That's the question. Yes, they do, and Chains is in a lot of trouble. Only 2 right clicks needed, and he's gone. Mushi picks up the kill, and we were saying he had complete free farm on the lane. He's getting complete free farming kills on the lane. That's even worse. Meantime, top lane, Shatan is going to be draining all of the damage out of Ohio. Do they have the potential to kill him? Not with that second Time Leap. And you do have the threat of the TPM for the Nature's Prophet, but it just isn't enough versus Time Leap.
Yeah, I mean, thank God, yeah, that Magic Stick to actually get mana for the Time Walk there, but immunity, I would have thought that they're the ones getting the kills. Actually, they get the double damage rune as Net comes in with Extinct, but they make it out with a illusory orb. So, Puck manages to bottle up the rune regardless. And looking at the mid lane, actually, 23 and 8 on the Puck, compared to 14 and 5 on KYXY. So K-Phoenix so far, he's been doing a pretty damn nice job, but as Venomancer gets more levels, higher levels into Plague Wards, it's going to be a little bit hard, but Puck, he should be fine with just farming up under the tower.
He can farm up under the tower quite fine, and from in my perspective of this at least, the Puck, how is he doing? He's 26 for 8, up against a Venomancer who's 17 for 5.
Of course, some of those might be Plague Wards as well.
Of course, some of those are Plague Wards, but the point still stands. The Puck is getting some gold. He is getting towards that potential for Bottle and Treads or Brown Boots and Blink Dagger, depending on which way he wants to go. There's a way of doing it with the Treads and the Bottle where you'll just toggle your Treads around and get the maximum out of the Bottle with that route, and that will give you the ability to fight that a little bit more by having more mana. Or he can just go straight for the Blink Dagger and just look to be the aggressive bastard that a Puck can be. It's going to be a varied difference.
Well, we will see how well it goes for them, or what route they decide to go for. And at the moment, Extinct actually, he's the one soaking up some XP in the mid lane now on the Wind Ranger. Definitely would like to get the Shackle shot going for himself, and KYXY. He can easily farm up the jungle with 3 points into Plague Wards now. So I really like what they're doing at the moment. I guess they realize that they actually don't have the best roaming between the Wind Ranger as well as the Skywrath Mage, so just soak up XP, get those level 6s, especially in the Skywrath, and then start going on the aggressive when Ohio also has that Chronosphere available.
You say they don't have the best roaming. I will counter that point. I mean, they've got Concussive Shot into Shackle Shot. If they can line up the Shackle Shot off the back of Concussive Shot, that's
They don't even have Shackle Shot yet, man.
True, they don't have it yet, but as a potential of the combination. Throw into that Ancient Seal and the potential just to catch up to a target. I mean, I'm not even saying put a point in power shot. It would be a case of go 2-0-1 if you wanted to really roam with a Windrunner. But the power shot does give you a good ability to push back lanes, so I can understand Extinct's logic for going this route instead.
I mean, power shot is one of the stronger nukes as well in the game. I mean, 360 damage on the maxed out. So I just like what they're doing overall, just getting XP and actually top lane or bottom lane rather going for change to get the slow as well. He's completely out of mana, no TPs to come. Ancient Seal is there and Mana Void Mushi. He secures yet another kill, although Net will lose his life. Double damage puck comes in, but man, it's a worthwhile trade. Actually, can you get the DP out? Are you kidding me? Now Dream Coil spent for it, but Dream Coil on cooldown, and that trade definitely favoring Titan.
Definitely at the end of the day, but you got to consider Net almost had the ability to escape from that. If he would have got out, that would have been amazing, and this is why I've been wanting to see Net play.
Top lane shut down. He's gonna go down Ohio. Oh my god, they get the kill and chase now. Is he in some trouble? The Chronosphere spent for it. KOXY. He wants to go for it. I think chase. There's no escaping this. He's gonna get slowed down as well, and double kill for Ohio.
Chains is just not having a good game. As he stands right now on the Nature's Prophet, he's 0-4-0. Rough off lane compared to going up to the top lane, getting immediately chronoed. It's not a good time. But mid lane, in the meantime, we do have that push starting to build up. Godot is here with Death and I want to say Kphony. I'm going to pronounce that so wrong. But the fight's going to start. Death's going to get silenced. It's just going to be a case of repel them with the Arcane Bolts. There's going to be no way to at least push this in safely. I mean, you're pushing into a Skywrath. Sure, the Skywrath doesn't have his level 6 for Mystic Flare yet, but Arcane Bolt still does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's just such a high damage nuke, and the cooldown as well on it. I mean, it's level 3 at the moment, so 3-second cooldown it is. And he's gonna find the haste rune as well. Might leave it to KYXY, and yes, that's exactly what he's gonna do. But man, Mushi just continues to free farm. Actually, he's 20 last hits ahead of a Razor, and only about 650 gold away from his Battle Fury. It's gonna be such a ridiculously fast one.
After Brown Boots as well, yes, it is a very quick one, and I would generally expect a Battle Fury up around the 11-minute mark. He's got a couple of kills to his name as well. He's got those 2 kills. That's where that differential is, plus that assist. The Anti-Mage in this case will snowball out of control very quickly, and once he has his Battle Fury, we're only looking at a matter of minutes until we have a full Manta. I mean, he's got a few stacks in the jungle to farm up. Specifically, I believe the hard camp was stacked. No, that's actually been farmed up by the Venomancer, hasn't it? So there are no stacks, but that can be remedied by the supports just before the Battle Fury comes online, should they rotate into the jungle. But even without stacks, you can get a Battle Fury into a Manta very quick.
Yeah, I mean, the Battle Fury, you're just gonna get crazy amounts of farm after you get it finished, especially. He started with a Quelling Blade as well, so usually it's actually anti-mages, especially if they're safe lane farming, they don't go for the Quelling Blade straight up, but pick it up after the Battle Fury, just to have a faster time farming. And just look at this Mushi. He's having some trouble with the treant, so the tower probably won't fall down anytime soon, but man, this Nature's Prophet just has the boots. He has only 4 last hits, 9.5 minutes into the game. Usually at least they go into the jungle if the offlane is goddamn horrible, but since they had an Enchantress farming that up, that really wasn't an option either.
No, it's not an option. But in the meantime, mid lane, we do get that potential jumper from Ohio. Doesn't quite catch the chrono on the puck, but it doesn't matter. Death comes in from the side. He could actually get it brought down here. Does he have his reincarnation? No, he doesn't. So this is going to be a good kill. I'm not sure why they engaged on this one. And equally, they caught Puck in that same chrono. So they're going to get a few right clicks on him, as well as the silence. They could pursue this one, but that's going to be very rough. Shackle Shot does latch. In comes the power shot. One more right click could be enough. Arcane Bolt isn't. They managed to phase shift that one in time, and well, they do lose Extinct for that. And now Net needs to get the hell out of dodge. Does successfully manage to TP out, but that was quite a close call.
Yeah, I mean, I was almost certain Puck is gonna die there, but they need just one more right click out of anybody really. So a 1-for-1 in the end. A support for support, but Dream Coil also cooldown, but I guess the Chronosphere spent for Fizz's Void, so rather an even trade across the board there.
Well, if the Void would have stayed and gone for one more right click on that Puck, that would have been a kill. I will always point that out. I mean, it's a case of he wanted to just be safe. Ohio didn't want anything to do with that. And from where we sit, it's pretty much a game of 4 distract and protect 1. They're just buying Mushi time. He has his Battle Fury. He's farming extremely well now, and well, I think we're going to be looking around 15 minutes for a Manta if he goes straight for that. I mean, you can easily get it within 5 minutes of completing a Battle Fury.
Man, this was like a 10.5 minutes Battle Fury with boots of speed on top of it, and not a single tower had fallen before he got it. It's one of the craziest anti-mage games I've seen, or just the craziest farm I've seen on anti-mages. And well, they're just gonna continue. They smoked up with 3, and I think this tier 2 might be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of trouble as well. I mean, just the threat of the anti-mage getting this level of farm as well as being supported so heavily. It's going to be very hard to stop, but we do get TPs mid to defend against the puck. However, Extinct gets caught by the Dream Coil. It could be in a lot of trouble potentially. It does have the Wind Run to buy some time, and the mass TPs force everyone back. They don't really want to risk fighting into a Chronosphere. It's going to be up in 5 seconds as well. But while this is going on, Mushi is just still farming. I mean, he is just doing what the anti-mage needs to be doing, and if there is one rule of Dota, when you're against an anti-mage, you do not let him farm. Not like this.
Yeah, top lane KYX, he's gonna lose his life. Medallion of Courage, the minus armor is there. Actually, no, they get the slow on to go up. Can you really make it out? He pops the Poison Nova. Ohio, he has the Chronosphere, he's gonna come in. Who is he gonna go for though? Godot, he's on the run. As Mushi, he TPs in, stand up immediately. I have the storm, but static link on cooldown. Mushi, he doesn't care. Shut down completely out of mana. Shackles, they don't connect, but I think it's gonna go down anyway. Mana Void, we'll actually spend it. Maybe, no, doesn't even need it. A few more right-clicks, the tower helping out a little bit. They clear off Godot in the meantime. 3 kills going the way of Titan and Death.
Make that
out
4.
of mana, man.
Make that 4 kills. Anti-mage doing his worst, and that's pretty much why the Wraith King is such a risky pick when you're up against anything that has some kind of mana control. Be it anti-mage, be it invoker, be it lion, you get my point. Mana warfare is how you deal with the Wraith King.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, Chains, Nature Prophet, he went for a Medallion. It's nice if you want to go for Roshan, for example, and whatnot, but is this really the item that Nature Prophet should be heading towards? Especially considering he's been struggling so hard as it is. I mean, where's his effectiveness going to come in? Yes, treants are always nice for pushing and whatnot, but I mean, look at his net worth, 2.2k, man. It's one of the most struggling Nature's Prophets I've seen in quite a while.
Well, it could be a very dead Nature's Prophet if Ohio goes for the jump, but I don't think he will alone. I mean, is this a struggling Nature's Prophet? Yes. What can he actually do in this game? He needs to just split push. It's all he really can do. He doesn't have the damage to really fight. If he goes into a team fight, he has the medallion, sure, but he is still more likely to die. And if he split pushes it, it's at least something. And Net and Puck, well, Net will always get the edge on a Puck with the Ancient Seal. It's going to be very rough, in all honesty, for the entire lineup of Immunity. There's 11-2 kill score right now, and another tower. This time denied in favor of Titan. We look at the gold, 7,500 gold lead for Titan, as well as a 7,500 experience lead. It's starting to snowball out of control quite heavily here for Titan.
Yeah, man, just the 7,500 gold lead, pretty much 4,000 of it is anti-mage, because he is 4,000 ahead of the next highest, or at least the Dyer's highest farmer, so absolutely sick amounts. And actually went for a Vladimir's offering. It's gonna boost up their entire team damage-wise, get some lifesteal onto Faces Void as well. I mean, it's not a bad item, just getting some bonus armor as well there.
Most importantly, it lets Mushi just aggressively farm. I mean, the lifesteal is quite the big deal on the anti-mage. I mean, from here, if he goes Manta next, it's still going to be about, considering he's got 800 gold, 4 minutes away maybe, so 18 minutes we could be looking for a Manta if he goes for that next. And he did also complete his treads, so that's going to help him out.
Oh, okay, Ohio, he set up a kill onto Puck, completely missed that, but they're just killing everywhere, and Mushi, he's farming up the enemy jungle. They're just farming up the entire map at the moment, more or less. They're going for the tower pressure as well at the moment. Tier 2 might be the target here on the bottom lane. Actually, Venom is scaled by KYX right just under the treants. That's how annoying they can be, but tower down to half HP. Mid lane though, oh Mushi, he jumps onto shut down, the slow comes out as well, Mystic Flare. They're gonna get the kill, they use the mana void for it, and Death might get the counter onto Net. Ohio, he comes in. They will get the counter, still no reincarnation, actually he skilled it up just before Death, but he might lose it twice here.
Well, they're going to turn around onto Mushi. They get him with a good stun as well as a silence. But they're going to lose Mushi's life for this one. They didn't expect that very big turnaround, I don't think. I mean, that was a very risky bit of aggression by Mushi. I can't really phrase it better than that. I'm not sure why he hung around, but while that's going on, KYXY will clean up that bottom tier 2 tower, and the aggression is now coming out of Immunity. They want to push in while the anti-mage is off the board. Force the fortification. 5 minutes that's going to be down for. But can they get this tier 2 off the back of this one? Now phase the shackle, and now Ohio does get stunned out, but where is the fight? I mean, they don't have a Chronosphere for 30 seconds, but it does not matter. Godot's just taking a huge amount of damage. I mean, he is just going down, but his healing is keeping him okay for now. He'll go down to the dots at the end of the day. But Shantan is going to be the next focus. And with Ohio being the Bash Lord, they will clean him up. Now they're going to look for the puck, and he cannot survive under the Mystic Flare. He was Ancient sealed up as well. There was no way in hell.
Yeah, so they lose 3 heroes. They don't get any in return. Plus, the tower gets denied. Just a disaster for Immunity at this point in time, and I can totally understand their need and their want to just go for some big plays, because at the moment, big plays is the only thing I think can get them back into the game, considering how much farm Titan actually has, especially on that anti-mage. So I understand that they went for it, but just they can't force issues. I mean, even without the Chronosphere, they just completely lost the fight.
Well, they don't need Chrono at this point. They can just fight in. I mean, you look at the Faceless Void. He is fairly damn tanky. He's got himself a Stout, he's got his treads and strength, and he's got the mask. He's only really using the mask when he is pursuing a kill and knows he won't be harassed too heavily. But they could find death right now, and Mushi's here. Do they have the ability to kill him? They've got the Chronosphere up. They're just going to go for it. They're just going to drop all manners of physical damage into death, and that's a good amount in terms of mana burn as well, but it's not necessary. It's still on cooldown, and they're just going to look for more. Godot gets caught as well, and he'll go down to KYXY. This is just an absolute slaughter.
Yeah, man, I thought Titan, that their lineup was maybe a little bit greedy, but they just made it work for them. Some nice rotations, just getting the early kills as well. Whereas Immunity didn't really connect on their ganks with the Brave King as well as the Enchantress. Brave King more or less just stood around trying to deal with the Faceless Void, but even that wasn't all that successful. And oh, they're gonna get more kills. Change. Do we have Mana Void? Yes, we do, to stop the TP. So yet another kill going in the way of Titan.
It's just becoming a complete avalanche in way of Titan. There's no way Immunity can stop this, I don't think. Especially when Chains keeps getting picked off. He just cannot survive, and he's going to go for double braces into Blade Mail, but still, a Blade Mail at this point is too late. He's trying to do it to deter the level of damage on him, but honestly, it does not matter. I mean, you've got to consider, Blade Mail is magical damage, I believe, not HP removal, so it is mitigated by Mushi's Spell Shield. But now we get the potential turnaround. Godot's in a lot of trouble, going to just have his mana completely burned out. And even with those points in healing, he's got 4 points into Nature's Attendance, and he just cannot survive this level of damage.
Well, I think this is more or less over this game. Immunity, they're still hanging on, just trying to do something, maybe go for a high ground defense, but I just can't see a way for them to win this up against the late game potential of Titan, and considering they're already nearing late game so damn fast. Well, at least they get extinct at the moment. Kfini uses the Dream Coil for it, but is he gonna lose his life? Yes, he's gonna get bashed up. A few more right clicks and KYXY. He gets the return on the Venomancer, so I mean, support for core, and this is gonna be tier 2 now thanks to this.
Yeah, and an easy tier 2 in my mind as well. They're just going to go for more, though. They want to bring down Death. He doesn't have a reincarnation yet. Gets clipped by the Gale. There's no escape for this one. Down goes the Wraith King.
Oh wow, 22-5, just such a strong showing from Titan at the moment. And actually, Mushi, he's sitting at 721 net worth at this point in time. Only 90 minutes into the game. That is just a sick amount of farm. Does he have his meta still flying out? Yes, he does.
4 to 5 minutes after I called it, it is.
Well, he did go for Vlads before the call.
Yeah, true, very true. And with that full manta, this is just going to be absolutely sick for Mushi. I mean, he burns so much mana now. All of those illusions propagating as well. That he's just going to obliterate the puck if he blinks on him.
Yeah, I think nobody can escape the clutches of Mushi now.
It's a case of blink, pop manta. Target now has no mana, and it's a walking bomb. It's just grade A perfect here.
Yeah, and just the fact that they are farming up the enemy jungle as well, it's literally Immunity. They have no space to just even try to make a comeback of any sort. They are smoked up at the moment. Maybe Kfini can set up a kill. I mean, he has the Dream Coil ready as well. Net might be an easy target for them, and can they find them?
Well, I think they will be able to. All it will take is one rotation to the jungle, but it's Net that's nearest to the enemy here, so he's got to be slightly careful. And this is the 3 heroes that may have some killing potential still. I mean, Razor still needs to get some farm going. He's trying to get a BKB, but that's not going to be enough. His mana's still going to be non-existent versus Mushi. And speaking of Mushi, he's thinking about it, but not going to find it that easily. Death's lurking nearby. He does have a reincarnation available. They're going to throw some damage into Mushi, but honestly, is this going to be enough? I don't think it is. And Mushi can just go aggressive if he wants to. He has that Manta now, and well, 3 AM, you know all the jokes, but Chains in the meantime on the bottom lane does get Ancient sealed up, eats the Mystic Flare, in comes the Chrono, 1 right click coming out of the Faceless Void, and that's going to pick up that kill. Now KYXY comes in, as well as Mushi in the back lines. death can't stand. He doesn't even get a chance to reincarnate. Now they're looking for Shantan, but, well, no escape. No escape at all. Godot is equally going to be a victim under his tier 4s, and that's GG called. Game 1 of this 2-game series goes to Titan.
Yeah, there was really no point in this game where Immunity actually had a lead, and we could have said like Immunity, they are doing pretty damn well at this point in time. They just lost in farm. Anti-Mage was free farming, got that extremely fast Battle Fury 10.5 minutes in. Mid lane, yes, Puck did a little bit better than the Razor, but Faceless Void also got quite a lot from his off lane. So, just Titan from the start, looking so strong.
1 second before we end this one, I just need to check something because we have a little bit of a discussion in chat. I'm fairly sure Blade Mail is magical. I'm just double checking it. Returns any damage you take to the unit, calculated after reductions, does not reflect on the Blade Mails, won't damage magic immune targets, is magic damage according to the in-game.
Well,
at least.
I guess there it is, man. There it is. But in any case, guys, this was only game number 1 of a 2-game series, so we're gonna have game 2 coming up in just a few minutes, hopefully at the very least. So stay tuned, and of course, as always, if you enjoyed, be sure to follow us on this channel, as well as HeflaTV 2 and HeflaTV, the English channels for us. And check out our social media to actually know when we're going live, with what games, on what channels as well. It's HeflaTV for both Facebook and Twitter. The VODs also uploaded to our YouTube, which is youtube.com/HeflaMook. All the links are below the stream, but guys, see you in game 2.